I am coming from the nail salon, so some self-care. And I want to talk about something that came up inside of Money in the Message, my inner circle, where I'm supporting women stepping into the next level message to attract their next level clients, higher quality clients, to really position the value of what they do at a higher level so that they can double plus their business. And so these are women who aren't new. And I want to talk about something. Somebody brought up saying the wrong thing and this pressure behind it. And so I did a full mindset masterclass on this and workbook, and we'll coach more about this on one of our next calls. But I wanted to bring this here. This video is to the women who have already been putting out their message, to the girls who have gotten the courage, who have shown up, who have consistently put out content. You tell your timeline on that. I'm not here to dictate that for you. If it's been a year or two, if it's been 20 years, I've had clients in the entire spectrum. But there is something that happens when you have already been showing up and you've made money and you've gotten clients, you've been landing clients, right? When you are like, what else is there to talk about? What else is there to talk about? I've been talking about this thing for a year. I've been talking about this thing for 10 years. I've been talking about this thing for 20 years. What else do I say? What else do I talk about? Haven't I said everything under the sun? And you start to get bored. You start to feel disconnected. You start to just feel like something is off. And then you get to this place where you have a team, even if it's a small but mighty team, because I'm a fan of small but mighty teams. You have things that require investment, right? So whether you are investing in your own personal development, like a coach or a mastermind or something like that you're a part of, making investments in the business, so systems, right? So we are literally going through an entire system migration right now. So you have a team, you have investments, you have, at the time of this recording, it's February of 2025. So there's probably taxes, right, that you're getting prepared for, or you've already sent in, or whatever that looks like for you. So, I've been in this space where I've been putting all of it out in January. So that has actually made me feel really good. I can remember the first couple of years of doing my taxes in my business, feeling so much anxiety. And so just coming into the new year, like done, gathering everything for it to be submitted in a quicker time is just like easier for me and my brain. But there still are, so I know though the first couple months there are different entrepreneurs who have different schedules and whatnot. So, you're worried about that. There's things that require investments. I know for us at the end of the year is when a lot of my system payments go out. So I don't really like monthly payments. I forget them. So I just like to pay for stuff as much as I can annual. So if we have to pay for Zoom, our website, or, things like that, like system stuff, okay? There are things that require investments that you're having to financially take care of. And you have people on your payroll, whether they're contractors or employees. You have yourself on your payroll. There is not this period of, I can't make money in my business. There's not this period of, no income coming in from the business, because there are things we have to cover. Not only am I covering my salary and what it is that I have to take care of, but I also need to cover payroll, and I also need to cover expenses. So my point of saying that is that there's this pressure of like maintaining, of sustaining, of keeping it going, right? And for me, being an entrepreneur for a decade, 8 years at the time of this recording, full time, I understand, sis. I understand. The reason that I'm bringing that up is because once you are in business and you are landing clients and you are consistently showing up, a part of it does become a portion of your job. It does. And I feel like that is so tough to say, because so many parts of me was like, when I started this business, I didn't think about like, oh, well, let me just go from a job to a job. It was very much like, this is my passion, and I really want to experience what it feels like to do work that feels so connected to me and to my gifts, and to like the little girl who was 7 years old that existed in this world before she ever went to college and got, official any degrees and experience and, had a resume and all that type of stuff. Like, who was her divine resume? Or not who was she divinely, but what was her divine resume? Like, who did God put her on this planet to be? She was a listener. She was a deep thinker. She asked deep questions. She was a talker. She was all these things. And little by little, the world, my family, my peers, I was about to say my friends, my peers, okay, in school, made me feel like I was wrong and I was different for asking questions and for being curious and for speaking and for talking and for having a voice. And there were parts of me, especially like as I got older into middle school, where I even started to question that. And then I started to come back out my shell in high school, more in college, more as a woman. But I felt little pieces of that in corporate kind of like shut down. But I also realized that it's not corporate, it's just certain company cultures, right? Because there are some cultures who love you to have an entrepreneurial spirit and all the things. The point is, I wanted to experience what it would be like to just use my divine gifts. And so you start this business and you are doing so much that's new, but it's fun and it's exciting because it's new and you're figuring it out. And some of it is stressful and annoying and, all that stuff. But like you got past that phase. So now you're in this phase where maybe it's been 2 years that you've been full time. Maybe it's been, a couple years that you've had your business on the side. Maybe you've been full time for a decade, whatever it is. You get to this place where you're like, I have to keep it going because I got things to take care of. And the pressure beyond that can cause you to make certain decisions that you wouldn't necessarily make, such as the quality of your clients. You will bring in certain clients because you're looking at the numbers so much. And sometimes, just sometimes, let people in the cracks of things like, ooh, wait, how did I let that person in? People that are not aligned, right? Misaligned clients, mismatched clients, clients who aren't truly who you want to be working with, but you feel like you have to keep talking to them so that you can make the money because you're looking at the numbers and all the things. And so it becomes this like, how do I balance bringing in the quantity of people that I need to bring in to take care of my salary, my team's salary, taxes in the business expenses, the growth of the company, and other things, right? While also, focusing on the quality of clients. How do I do both? And so a client, a part of the Money in the Message inner circle. So she came in and she was kind of talking about this, and it got me inspired to do like a masterclass on it. But I wanted to touch on something here. One of the things I said inside of my mindset masterclass, because what I love is that the coaching that goes down inside of Money in the Message is so personalized to the individuals that are a part of the community. I love to get real questions and use that for inspiration. So although I was answering her question on Voxer, because you do get Voxer passes for our premium members, I still wanted to answer the broader question. I was like, oh my gosh, the rest of the community needs to hear a level of this as well. And I just wanted to briefly mention it here on YouTube to you because I feel like this is something that women are needing to hear right now. And so one of the things that I said inside of that masterclass was, she talked about, oh, I'm afraid of like saying the wrong thing, especially when you're tapping into like a new audience or a new level of your audience. So if it's a complete shift of your audience, or because you're like, oh my God, I've been talking to these people, these are not the right people, I no longer want to work with this group of people, or this people that have these types of characteristics, or like this type of, maybe fixed mindset, stuff like that. So you want to shift your complete audience, or you're just realizing, okay, I've been talking to multiple people in my audience and I really need to hone in on this person. They're the ones who are most qualified to work with me. They're the ones I can support the most. They're the ones who value the work. They're the ones who come ready, who will invest, all that type of stuff. They're the ones who I feel really excited to support. So you are wanting to hone in on your audience and, different versions of that. But the point is, you are ready to fully step and show up for this next level audience, right? As we like to say. And so a part of that sometimes can feel like I'm not new at this, but talking to this audience makes me feel like I'm new, or like figuring out things about them and learning them. And that's what we help you with inside of the program. I've had clients who literally gave themselves permission and, allowed themselves to talk to their next level client and actually tripled their business, 10x their business in a month, right? In, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. It's a really beautiful thing to witness, but it's so much deeper than just the words on the paper. Like the clarity work that we do is so beautiful and it takes us to the next level, but it's really the inside. It's the internal. It's the mindset. behind you giving yourself permission to be seen by this audience. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. Is one, again, something that I shared inside of the training was you're only going to be putting out the wrong thing to the wrong audience. If you have a fear of it being wrong, it's because you're putting it out to the wrong audience. You're saying it to the wrong audience. If you are saying the thing that feels right for you and you're preparing it, okay, see, a lot of people talk about, I'm saying it to the wrong person. No, who did you prepare it for? You already at the end of who you saying it to, who's receiving it. I need you to have them up front from the beginning. And we do a lot of reverse engineering, like who is the person that you want receiving this? Who are they at the prep stage, in the ideation stage, when you created it stage? And a part of that is who in your heart, even before creation happens, it was already created within you. Like, what in your heart are you wanting to say and put out and share about this thing? Are they the person that you are carrying from your heart to the creation with your hands, to the display through your mouth, to the sharing through your mouth? And then that's who receives it. So a lot of times people are not doing those steps. And so it's only going to, this pressure and this fear and the anxiety and all the things, because we talked about different emotions that are coming up with that, that come up. It's only because you are actually preparing it for the wrong audience. If you was preparing it for the right people, you wouldn't have all that going on. And so I'm going to add another layer to that. Again, you're already in business. You have, listen, we've spent thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of dollars. You probably have spent multiple six figures, right, in your marketing, whether you've done, paid ads, or, you've hired marketing assistants and teams to help you, if the time and energy that you've spent, right? So you've put a lot in, you've been putting a lot of resources and energy and effort and time into building this audience. And it can feel like, what the heck do you mean I need a new audience? I'm starting over, anything like that. But I want to share this with you, because you holding on to any energy like that is causing you then to force yourself to keep showing up for that audience, because you feel like it would be a waste. I've put all this energy and effort in. One, I'm going to tell you, that entire audience is not trash. Every client I have come in who we talk about something similar to this work, they have a fear that they're throwing the whole audience away. I promise you, it's always happened. My clients tend to have people that are in their current audience right now who are exactly who they want to work with, those next level clients, right? But there's something that's not connecting with them, because you keep holding space and preparing things for the version of your client who you think is there, like quantity wise, but they're not necessarily the client you really want to be focusing on. Maybe they're not ready to make a certain level of a monetary investment. I've had countless clients who have this happening. Maybe you were charging 1,000 or 12, $100, or, $2,000, $4,000 for something. And you're like, oh my goodness, I want to double that price. I want to triple that price. I had a client who came in who actually, once we went through, she wanted to double her price, but once we went through everything, when she went through all of the processes, that we take you through in elevating your messaging, right? So focusing on her signature method and her framework and who her client really was, like the next level client, and their psychographics and what they valued and what they cared about. She didn't want to double her price anymore. She was like, no, I understand now. We should triple this. Like, this person, the way that they value what it is that I'm doing over here is insane. I didn't even know that. I didn't even realize all that I did for this person. And most of my clients come in like, what you do for your person, but when we put it on paper, and we feed it back to you, you get to feel it. It's amazing. And I'm so grateful that the women that I call in are such feelers. People talk about upgrading your rates and your quality of your client, but I'm always saying, like, it's happening in your heart before it ever happened on paper. And so many people rush to the paper part. And I love that we get to help you. Like, you got to embody that. Thing that I wanted to kind of go back to was, when it comes to you stepping into this new layer of your voice, okay, it is the most beautiful gift that you can give yourself. It's the most beautiful gift. So what I want to do right now is just totally, like, I don't have any notes. I want to speak a love letter to the next layer of your voice. I want to speak a love letter to the next version of your message, the next layer of your message. And that really is speaking to the next layer of you. My love, I know that you've been doing this work. I know when we look at your past and your present clients, you have some really amazing and incredible testimonials and experiences and feedback and results and transformations that you have helped your clients and your community experience. That is beautiful. It is amazing. And I know that you want to do more of that. You have spent this time growing and expanding and evolving as we do as human beings. And it is amazing. And now it's time to merge them together. You have these identity shifts that you've been experiencing in your life, in your relationships, in your business, in your partnerships, in your client relationships, in your team dynamics, with your friends, with your family, all up and through within yourself. And of course, the foundation with of whom you have faith, right? Your experience through life, through living, through being, through all the things. And my love, because of that, you have been becoming, you are still becoming. And through those experiences, there are layers of things that you used to say that you no longer want to say and talk about. They were there for that season. You are now in a new season where there are things you used to talk about that you still want to talk about, but there's some things you used to talk about that you want to go deeper into. There are parts of your work that no longer resonate with you, that you no longer want to teach, that you no longer want to hold space for, that you no longer want to talk about because they bore you. But also, your audience has evolved, your audience has grown. And so what they're needing from you now is different and it's deeper than what they needed before. And there's nothing bad there. They get to actually grow with you. They get to actually experience with you. They're having identity shifts just like you are. And it's beautiful for them to witness that through you. But if you are holding yourself hostage to old versions of your voice, to old versions of you, to old versions of your identity, to old versions of the identity of your ideal client, they can't move with you. So they don't go away because you're not enough. They don't go away because you're not good. They don't go find someone else because their prices are better, because their package is better, because their branding is better. They don't leave you and abandon you and judge you and say deuces to you because of anything that makes you wrong. They're simply expanding and evolving and looking for the message that connects with who they are today. But the thing is, you have it within you. You just keep hiding it because publicly you keep putting out content and you keep putting out a message that talks to an old version of your client, a version of themselves they no longer care about, want to be, don't value, or the secret is some of them never valued. But you thought that was who you had to talk to. You thought those were the only people that would pay you, that would see you. This next level client sees you. This next level client wants to pay you. This next level client wants to work with you. This next level client wants to soak up all of your genius, but they can't do that when what you publicly present to them is not in alignment with that next level message, with that next level of your voice, with that next layer of your vision and who you are here to be. People talk about who you're here to be, but we also expand. So who I was here to be 10 years ago has become different than who I was here to be 5 years ago, and has become different than who I am here to be today. And who I will be here to be in 5 years is going to also be different. So if instead of keeping myself chained to who I think I'm supposed to be and how I think I'm supposed to present, what I think I'm supposed to talk about, and what I'm thinking that I'm supposed to be teaching, because that's what people knew me as, that's what people accepted me as, okay, or at least that's what I thought. I get to give myself full permission to show up as the next version of me today, of what I have to share, of what I have to say, of what I have to talk about. Your stories have evolved. The stories that you used to tell 5, 10, 2 years ago, they're different today. They're going to resonate different with your next level audience. The experience that you've gained inside of your work, when you first built your signature method, even before you knew you had built a signature method, boo, when it was just like ideas here and there, that was great. And that helped who it helped then. And then you got it on paper and you continue to expand it and evolve it. And now there's another layer of it that needs to be extracted as well, right? That needs to be refined. There's parts of your work. I used to teach these 3 things. I used to teach these 10 things. You know what? But I really want to be known for this one. I probably was cluttering up my message, thinking that that was going to help me call in more clients. That was going to help me convert more. That was going to help me sell better. So I cluttered my message. I cluttered my signature method. I thought I needed to be known for X number of things, be the Jill of all trades. That's what's going to make them pay you more. But that just put me in generalist categories. I'm ready to dominate my industry. I'm ready to increase my rates. I'm ready to increase the quality of my clients. I'm ready to convert quicker, speed up my sales process, have people who come to me who don't need convincing and hand holding and proving, who already see my value. But yet I'm holding on to the old versions of my message. And the old version of my message talked about the old version of my signature method. And that talked about the things that the old versions of my ideal clients cared about and valued. They now value other things. They now care about other things. They now want to go deeper. But I'm staying surface because I think that's safe. So if I give myself permission to go all in on who it is I'm wanting to talk to, they get to see me. They get to get the option to pick me. They don't even have the option to pick me. I'm thinking they're going to abandon me, say no to me, go to somebody else, reject me, so I don't even put the thing out. But I never even gave them the option. So what if I go all in on what I really want to be talking about, what I really want to be known for, who I feel called to be today, what I feel aligned to share today? If I go all in on that, I now hold space for them. And when I hold space for them like that, they see that there is space held for them. They see that it's safe. They want to be there. They raise their hand. They come to me. Whew, I create content from that space. I create my programs from that space. I refine parts of my current brand to that space. I get into alignment with the next version of my message that I fully show up for and I fully stand behind. And now they get to fully stand behind it too. If I go back and forth and I'm wish-washy and I have this seesaw up and down energy with it, well, that's what they're going to have. But if I show up with this deep level of conviction and knowing and trust, and I fully create from that space, and I fully speak from that space, and I fully design elements of the program from that space, they get to feel so seen and so taken care of, so valued. And I get to fully show up for them. And it's the most beautiful thing. How does that feel? We're going to pause. I went in. I don't know how long I went. One, that's an example of the client embodiment sessions that I will do for clients. So we literally take on the persona of like you speaking, like your client, your next level client that you speak to, and take on their persona and psychographics. And that's just a small off the top of my head version. But one, I want to breathe. I want you to breathe. How did that feel? How did that feel? That literally you just get to give yourself permission to go all in that level of your message. I have a client who's been in her industry for about 20 years. She's been in her business full time, I think 12. And she's a member of our program. And, you know, she was saying that she hired an agency, a marketing agency years ago. And she told them like she really wanted to speak to this portion of her audience. And they kind of geared her to no, you shouldn't. And so she didn't. And so it's been very interesting that over the last couple of years, she has been in this space where she's been back and forth in her heart, creating for the next level client that she wants. So this next level client, they are a different caliber. They will pay her, she has 4 and 5 figure packages. They will pay her 5-figure packages at the drop of a dime. They invite her to be in spaces with other individuals who will pay for her 5-figure package. Very easy. They've referred people to her. Like it's so easy for her to sell to them actually. And she still though has a version of her audience that she speaks to more consistently, right? Because she feels like it's more of them in the world, quantity wise. But it's harder for her to sell to them. it's harder for her to create for them. She actually has to sit down, like the way I'm leaving the nail salon, I'm like, I just want to make this message. She actually has to sit and think, okay, what does this person need to hear? Instead of like, I already know 5 things I want to say to this version of my client who actually is easier for me to sell and they pay for my high ticket rates. And they refer their friends to me, blah, 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 right? And so it's like it's like feeling torn with 2 versions of you having to show up and having to create content. And that is where, when we go back to the concept I said earlier about like doing your purpose work and then feeling like it's a job, that's when it feels like a job to me. Me coming from the nail salon and making a video and speaking to the woman who I know my next level client is someone who, Kira, I already land clients and make money. I've already gotten some recognition for the work that I do. I know that I'm not where I want to be financially, visibility wise, my message wise, my program wise, but I've already gotten and built this foundation. I've already established that, and I'm experienced in what I do, and I'm incredible at what I do. And now I'm ready for more people to know it. I'm ready to really hone in on these specialties and the unique parts of what it is that I do, more powerful than anybody else. I'm ready to pitch it and position it and present it more powerfully than I've ever done before so that I can command my next level rates for it. I'm ready to double my take home salary. I'm ready to increase the profit in my business. I am ready to dominate the industry in what it is that I do. I've spent this time working with clients of different capacities and levels and different programs and talking about different things. And now I'm really ready to hone in. I no longer, I've served this group of people. And you know what? Out of that group of people, I love these. And these individuals, I want to serve more people like them. So how do I literally create profiles and messaging that truly targets and speaks to them from my heart, that still feels connected, that still humanizes the process, right? And bring them in. How do I then convert them quicker, right? How do I make sure that I have truly aligned clients coming into my calls, my conversations, my presentations, my events, virtually, in person, all the things, right? So there are different things we need to be putting into your messaging strategy when you're in that phase, right? You have elements of, your marketing assets and messaging, in certain pieces of your content, or maybe you have funnels, or you have things already that are built. And we are going through and fine tooth combing and understanding, okay, we're taking it, like literally I've had clients, we're taking out 80% of this because you only need to be talking about this. And literally my client who did that, and one example that I'm thinking about, literally within a weekend, she had made $10,000 within a weekend. And even the other client that I was mentioning earlier, who has these 2 groups that she goes back and forth with, within her making that decision, she actually was like, I've had these individuals come into my event. Like these individuals, like a week later, these individuals are signed up for my event. They've already been around me. So this is what I mean when I say people think they have to throw out their audience. You don't. There was always a version of this next level of what you really want to talk about in you, always. So there's times where maybe 90% of what you're creating is for the, like, you who thinks this is what you need to be saying and who you need to be talking about to get them in. But then there's like 10% that is that higher level version of you that like sneaks out because she's ready to get out. And so it kind of still calls them in. And so what happens is we just want her to show up more. We want it to be the 90-10 flip, right? We want her to show up more. We want you to create from that space more and for that individuals more. And you start to see them come in more and more. And so that's why I tell people, you don't even realize there are things you're doing that's repelling your next level clients. You don't even know that you're doing it, right? Because just like 10% of you, that's higher level version, next level client communication, like you're talking to them, even though 90% of your stuff isn't. And then, the more that you start to flip it, you're sometimes, and it's a muscle you have to stretch. You're sometimes going to have, okay, I have the higher level version of me showing up 60% of the time, but 40% of the time, sometimes that other one still tries to sneak in. And now we're working together, we're building that muscle, and then it becomes 30, and then it becomes 20 until it gets less and less and less. And that person isn't running the show. All right. And so then you're not attracting the people who would only be attracted to that, that version of the message. Point is, it feeling safe. It is so safe for you to step into this next level of your message. It is so safe for you to be seen by this next level of your audience. It is so safe for them to know you, to seek you out, to hire you, to pay you. It is okay for this next level of your message to take care of you and your team and all the provision that it needs to deliver. It's okay for that. It is safe for you to let the other layers go. You're not going to burn down your business. You're not throwing everything away. You didn't waste your time. You needed all of that to get you here. And now we need to take that and up level it. Now we need to take that and expand it into exactly what it needs to be for who you truly are here to support in this season. You are not letting anybody down. You're not letting anybody go. You're not holding anybody back. You're not punishing anybody. You're not hurting anybody. You hurt people from trying to force yourself to hold space for them when you're really not supposed to be holding space for them. It's like holding space for a friend, a partner, something that like it no longer serves you and you no longer serve it, but you're just trying to hold on because you're used to it, because it feels safe, and because you feel like you're supposed to. You feel this level of responsibility. The level of responsibility you have is to honor the truth of your voice. So when you no longer are aligned to a particular version of your audience, it is time for you to move on and let it go. And that doesn't mean that you're letting them go. You are releasing them to go seek what they need to seek. The longer you hold on to them and they think that they should hold on to you, the longer, one, you're going to have levels of resentment. You are going to have your creativity going down. You're going to be burnt out. What did I say? The ease of creating for the true clients you want to create for versus the pressure of trying to say it right for the wrong people is going to drive you insane. And if it's not today, it's tomorrow. If it's not this year, it's next year. If it's not within the next 18 months, is when then the 18 months to follow, or within the last 18 months is in the next 18 months to follow. There is a point where it's going to build up. And I hate that sometimes my clients, they'll let it build up so much until they can't take it anymore. And that's where you get people who are saying things like, I got to burn my business down. I got to do this. But the most beautiful thing that I get to hear from our clients is, Kiera, you help me fall back in love with my business again. Kiera, you help me fall back in love and clarity and conviction with my gift again. Kiera, I stopped seeing myself. I always tell my clients, I tell my friends, I say this all the time. You may have heard me say this here. The only time I have issues is when I stop seeing myself. My number one prayer when I'm going to God, God, help me see myself. God, help me hear myself. God, help me hear what you need me to hear. God, help me speak what you need me to speak. God, guide my tongue in this video. God, guide my tongue in this coaching call. God, guide my tongue, my thought process, my creativity, my mind in this video that I'm creating, on this piece of content that I'm creating, or whatever it is. Guide me as I create this workshop. Guide me as I create this curriculum, this masterclass, whatever it is. Guide me. Help me hear what you need me to hear, and give me the courage to speak it. Give me the courage to say it. So there's content here on my YouTube channel that's more beginner. What is brand messaging and things like that. And that's going to be great for women who are starting out in their business who need it. But I also, and I'll have to do a full video on this as well, I also have had a season after a decade in my business where I have had to come to terms with the fact that I work with women who already have a message out in the world. So much and especially like when I think about the beginning of my business, so much of it was like, I know that my gift is messaging. So like, how do I help you find your messaging? A lot of my women already have found their message. A lot of my women already have layers of their message. There's a deeper part of it that's needed. There's a deeper part they need to extract. There's a deeper part they need to clarify. There's parts of the message that are super cluttered, right? Like you've been talking about 5 different things and you've been known for 5 different things and you think that's how you're going to 5x your business. And sis, it's not. Less is more. I tell you one thing, I was able to literally like quadruple my business when I actually took out programs, when I eliminated programs, when I eliminated parts of my message, when I eliminated parts of my audience. And I can see myself going through that again. When I came on YouTube, when I first started is very like how to. So I felt myself like, okay, well, let me like follow the algorithm, but also still be me. Okay. And so like blending the two. And so great, we have some content on how to, do things with your message. But what I know, like when I think about God, what do you really want? God, do you want me to be making a video about how to put this message in your content to like, or something? I don't know. Or is what you're wanting me to talk about, you've been doing this for a couple years and it doesn't even feel good anymore to you. It doesn't even feel in alignment anymore to you. You have more that you want to say and more that you want to talk about and more that you want to speak on. And you're not giving yourself permission because you put yourself in a box because of what you used to talk about. And that's not helping who I need you to support next. You see, God needed me to support the women that I supported to tap into whatever their message was at that time when they were new, when they were starting out. And as I've grown and I've gotten more advanced clients, right? So starting with women who were at $0, who were just starting out in business, they needed me with that messaging work. And then when I look at, okay, but there's women in the middle, I call it the messy middle, right? Where you're like, Kira, I want to get to six figures, multiple six figures. Everybody's talking about seven figures. I'm trying to make the jump. I've made, whatever, 5 figures a year. So is that 30K a year? Is that 90K a year? And I cannot seem to, for the last year, for the last 2 years, for the last 3 years, for the last 5 years, right? I've been staying in this space. And maybe I'll grow. Like I've had, clients who said, okay, I grew from like 20 to 40K. I grew from 40K to 80K, but like, or 85 or 90K, but like, or they'll hit six figures, of course, right? Yeah, I'll hit six figures. And then it's like, I don't know how to go beyond that. And so when we talk about you scaling, when you're getting to a place of like, I want to call in 250K plus, it's you understanding what are the most powerful core parts of my message that I need to be talking about. You cannot be playing around talking about a version of your message that's keeping you in your plateau months. You have to step into really what you need to be known for. Right. And me simplifying my business, simplifying my offers, you come to me because the money is in the message. Kiara is a genius. Kiara is the bomb at helping you do two things. One, really three. One, uncover what the most marketable, impactful, profitable parts of your message are. Like, what are the parts of your message that are so powerful that need to be extracted and put into everything you talk about and you teach on? So getting that level of deep clarity within your messaging, that in your sales message specific, because not just messaging, sales message. Then the second part of that is going through your signature method and helping you position it more powerfully than you've ever positioned it before. So when you do your pitches, your presentations, your sales invitations, sales calls, sales content, when you're doing those things, you're really highlighting and showcasing the parts of your signature method that are unique, that really add the most value to your client so that they want to pay the most for it. So they come and they don't need convincing and they don't need proving, and they see you as an expert already in that thing, right? And building an ecosystem with that. So it's parts of your sales message, right? On what to really hone in and clarify what you're speaking on, who truly is your next level client, helping you get deep intimacy on who that person is so we can speak to them, and then connecting the dots around the solution that we offer and how that is the thing that is going to help them get to where they want to be more powerfully than anything else. And then I would say the next layer of it is the mindset, giving yourself permission for your next level clients. I have a video that I did that talks about, if low quality clients are draining you, right? You need to watch that video. I also have a video that talks about the next level, the mindset around next level clients. But I'm excited to go deeper into that actually in my upcoming event. So somewhere around this video, you are going to see a link. You want to get on the list for my upcoming event. I cannot wait so that you can be a part of the next event where we're going to be talking about this right here. So this was just like my love letter to you, motivation, mindset, but we're going to now be talking about how do I actually speak to those next level clients? How do I stay in the room with those next level clients? How do I no longer allow myself to not give myself permission to talk to those next level clients? How do I see myself as enough? How do I, shift the identity parts that need to be shifted or that need to be tapped into more? What's the identity shifts that need to be tapped into so that I can stop holding myself back, thinking I need to shrink when I want to talk to more successful, more high caliber clients, when I want to position my work in a more powerful way? So we're going to be going into some mindset stuff. What's the vision of your next level message? Some of the communication strategy around the sales messaging elements that need to be in your messaging now that you didn't have in it 5 years ago. What do you need to be talking about in your message now that you haven't in the last 2 years? What do you need to do to declutter your message? Where do we need to take out of your message because less is more? Where are you confusing your next level clients? Where are you repelling your next level clients? So if you are an established woman in business, a coach, a consultant, a service provider, a thought leader, expert, you have this expertise that you are packaging out in your speaking, your books, your content, your services, your coaching, your programs, digital products, whatever that is. And you already are landing clients and sales, and you are showing up and creating content consistently. If you are not already showing up and creating content consistently, there's different messaging we need to talk about. We're talking to you because we know, hey, Kiara, yes, I get clients through my messaging or my pitches, my, what I put out, right? I do get some clients, but I'm trying to double that. Or double the quantity or the quality, right? Or right, both. That's what we want. We want to be able to call in more clients who are still high caliber, who are still high quality. You don't need to sacrifice the quality of your clients for you to scale. All right. So this video, I hope that you felt it in your heart. I'm just leaving the nail salon. Like I said, now I'm all cold, y'all. I'm all cold. Look, I was over here eating my chips. This is not a promotion video, but I was eating these chips, these sweet Southern heat barbecue chips, and I pulled over and I was like, I want to talk about this. And now I got all into it. But My heart wanted to put this out. My heart wanted to put this out. I hope that you receive it. I hope that you are ready to give yourself this permission. And I know that you have kind of been doing it, right? I know that you dip your toe in a little bit, but it's time for you to stay in the room with it. It's time for us to rebuild your marketing messaging, your content strategy, so that you can hone in on this person and talk to this person unapologetically, consistently, not once a week, not once a month, not here and there, but consistently. We got to flip that 90-10, right? Doing the things that you don't even realize, the smallest tweaks that you don't even realize are repelling your next level clients. We're going to fix that. So make sure that you sign up for my money making messaging event around this video. You'll see the link to sign up and you'll get all the information so you can join us live, the dates and the next steps and all that. You'll get all that information. Join us live. Come let me be your coach for the time in the program. I cannot wait to see you there. Go ahead and grab a ticket. I hope that some of the free tickets are still available when you get there. And comment on this video. Let me know what came up for you. Let me know what spoke to you. If you found this helpful. If you want me to do any type of part twos, let me know. If you're like, here, can you do a part two on? Tell me a topic. I would love to do a part two. If you like this love letter portion that I did, let me know. I can do another love letter for different things as well. And until next time, love, shine, and success. Make sure you share this video with a biz bestie, a mastermind sister, accountability buddy who you know needs to hear it, a woman who you know has been incredible at what she's done and she's ready to go to the next level. And she values high quality clients. She values human connection. She values positioning herself powerfully so that she can stop spending so much time in her sales conversations proving herself and instead just showing up in all of her genius. Your messaging should be pre-selling for you. It should be pre-qualifying for you. It should be pre-positioning for you. We're going to show you how inside of the Money Making Messaging event. So make sure you share this video with that amazing queen, amazing woman. And also, let her know, like, listen, you do this event with me. Let's do it together. And I will see you inside of the event in person, live, okay, live virtually, and all the things. So I can't wait to hear your comments in the videos. If there's anything that's like more personal that you want to talk about, shoot me a DM. You'll see the links to DM me on Instagram and on Facebook. I love hearing from y'all. Like, I don't Thank you for getting to this point of the video. Thank you for being a part of my community. Thank you for being a Shine sister. And I want you to know that, like, I truly mean it when I say DM me. I love to hear from y'all. I love hearing from y'all, especially like in the DMs when it's like, here, this was a little bit more private than I wanted to put out on the YouTube comment, whatever that is. But this is a safe space too. All right, loves, talk to y'all soon. Bye.